what was hard for you offensively and what was easy for you offensively? Obviously, you led the league in scoring a couple of times. You won the Hart Trophy. You won a cup. You're in the Hall of Fame. You did a lot of things in the game. Phenomenal college player. What was easy for you? What was hard for you? And how did that happen through coaching?
I think the hardest thing for me as a player was my coach, any coaches that told me what I needed to do. Like, not in a sense that I didn't want to listen to them. It was more, I didn't want to be forced in set plays and this and that. I wanted to play in a free environment where I can make reads. To me as a coach, I think the number one job as a coach is, and if you want things to be done a certain way, you need to convince your players. It's not like do that just because. Let me show you why I think this works. And once you convince them, you have them. But especially at the young age, like it drives me nuts when I hear coach like yelling to get the puck deep all the time. They yell deep, deep. Yeah, they want that puck 200 foot from their net. Like there's a situation to chip a puck, get the puck in, whatever it is. There's a situation, but it can't be your number one play. And as a player, you'll never develop if your goal is to get that puck deep once you pass the red line, because that means you're being handcuffed, and you can't allow yourself to make that judgment. Is this a situation where I'm skating with it, making a play, or I'm going to chip to myself? Because for the longest time, I mean, and trust me, I lost games I didn't like to lose, but it was worth it. Like I didn't let anybody. They weren't allowed to dump it. If we could make a play, we would take the puck back, go D-to-D, and do it over again. Yeah. Does that cause turnovers and breakaways against? Yeah, absolutely. But now that they hit we're Bantam level. Like we're focusing a little more on situational play. Which it's 3-on-3 coming up the ice. You probably won't be able to make a play. How do we chip it to ourselves, and how do we establish possession below the top of the circle and wait for help? Time on the clock, tie game, whatever. Like there's situational play that has to be taught. I don't think it's something you're trying to teach. You're trying to win a game when they're 10, 12 years old. If anything, you want them to realize, oh, I got nothing here. Let me make a little tight turn here and go back and possess. And hit my D, go D-to-D, get open again. Or let's just dump it in just because I have nothing. To me, you're not solving the problem. Not at 10, 12. You got to let them make the reads and let them fail. It's okay.
Marty, we talked yesterday quite a bit, but talk a little bit about the face-off, the circle, and routes and set plays, and the gray versus the black and white in that scenario.
Yeah, see, hockey is very gray, and the only time that hockey's black and white is off face-offs. You see a lot of face-off plays at the higher level. There's assignments. If you win the face-off, there's assignments. If you lose a face-off, usually. So for like that 2.5 second, it's black and white, and then it becomes gray again. And that gray area, that's where the game is played. Really, it's who makes the best reads, and so you have to allow them to make decisions and make reads. And as you're teaching, if you do video work, any video work, you can help them with their reads, because you can slow it down. You can tell them, look, this is what I'd like you to do here. So I want you to think about, but also ask them what they were thinking, not always be, I want you to do that. Because they might teach you something that you don't know. So let them, answer the question sometimes. Don't give them the answer. I think the video helps with the reads. And as you progress throughout the season, you'll find players get better with the reads. Then the next year, even better and better and better. But they got to be an environment where they're not being told what to do with the puck. They're being asked to work hard on and off the puck, compete, and in my term, covering ice, not duplicating job.
Marty, obviously you have three boys. You got Ryan in our national program out in Plymouth. You got Lucas, who's on the screen here right now, playing as an 05, and you have Mason, who's an 08. You've seen a lot of youth hockey over the last couple of years since you retired. What do you see that you like? What do you see that you don't like? And how are you attacking the stuff that you don't like with your own boys?
What I like, I like the growth of the game. The skill level, the talent, like obviously seeing many different age group, traveling quite a bit with them, just the skill level out there and the talent. The game is totally on another level right now. What I don't like is kind of what I kind of said earlier. Coaches that really dictate what wants to be done on the ice. They're almost playing their own game. They pretty much have a remote from the bench, and it's very loud. I don't like that at all. I think also the complaining about every calls with the refs, and then the parents get involved, and all that's really like to me, like it all evens out. Like you're gonna have games that you're gonna be on the bad side of thing. You're gonna be on the good side of thing. I don't want thing. Yelling won't get you on the good side of thing. I think the refs are gonna make mistakes. There's definitely times I bite my lip, but it's not worth it because then the kids see that, the parents see that, and then it's just a terrible environment. Well, we all make mistakes, and the refs will, and I hate it when it's so loud in the rink, and now you can see the game get out of control, and the kids are feeding off everything, the coach, the parents. So that's one thing that I don't like, and I feel like we've done a pretty good job as a group, a 05 group anyway, to try to stay away from it.
What with your boys, if you had one or two habits or concepts that you really hope that they move on after they've been with you as a coach, what would those be? What's your major focus with your three boys as far as concerned?
Well, they're all different, but for me, I think the two things that are gonna separate you as a player, or even forget that, who maybe make you overachieve, is IQ and competing. I think obviously the hockey IQ is not easy to develop. Uh, um, Compete, to me, it's a non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. It's not just working hard. Competing is working hard all the time. It's not just working hard when you feel like working hard. The skating, the hands, the shooting, all that can get improved. But competing is a mindset. And IQ is just understanding that there's more of a game than just your own little game. There's 4 of the guys out there, and there's 5 of the guys on the other team. The game doesn't just start when the puck is on your stick. And obviously being a good teammate.
Marty, we'll do one last question, and then we'll wrap this up. What's been the biggest adjustment for you coming from being a Hall of Fame NHL player to coaching youth hockey in the United States? What was the biggest adjustment for you?
Well, I think the biggest adjustment, just having three, for me personally, having three boys, different age, and coming off NHL hockey, to dummy it down to the age appropriate level. And it was hard at one point because I was coaching 03s, 05, 08s, and sometimes you're you get off the bench with the 03 and you jump on the 05 and you expect your 05 to do things that the 03s are doing, and it's just like not realistic. So to me, it was probably like teaching the appropriate stuff for the appropriate age and have the right expectation for where they're at. And I think I've gotten better every year with that.